Okay, so we are here with Mrs. Koerner for our next What Makes Us Great video series, and just kind of talking and focusing in on just those little things that make us love this place so much and want to continue to pour into it. So Ms. Koerner, you've got one of my favorite stories and maybe one of the craziest teaching stories I've ever heard. So if you wouldn't mind sharing about the best parent-teacher night ever.
I had taught kindergarten in the past, and I had moved to second grade probably like 2 or 3 years before this all happened. And so I had my whole entire class all set up for second grade. I had my big chairs out, everything was good to go for Meet the Teacher. And then probably at lunchtime on Meet the Teacher, Miss Staley came in and she said, "Miss Koerner, we're sorry to do this, but we need you to move back down to kindergarten on Meet the Teacher." So I was like, oh crap. So I quickly changed my whole entire room to a kindergarten room, and I loved it because Sunnyvale is so great because people just pour into those crazy psychotic moments. And so I had Miss Natalie, Mr. Daniel, they all came in helping me move little chairs out and big chairs out, getting little chairs in. All the administration came over, and they even brought their own personal children over, and they were taking down word walls. And we got it all done before Meet the Teacher. And so people came in and they were like, "Oh, never knew it was a second grade room." Never knew.
Wow. And I think that's the thing, like that, that's a great example, because when we see things coming up, it's just like, okay, we've got to make this switch, and everybody just jumps in to make it happen.
Yeah, again, it's one of my favorite stories, and I think it just reminds me of that word that always comes to mind about being here, just that team and that community feel. We used to use the phrase, rowing the boat together and all going in the same direction. Mm-hmm. And I just think it just perfectly highlights that thing that's just baked into here of the fact that we're a team, we're in this together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the reason why I actually came to Sunnyvale. So I grew up in a really small town, and I loved it because everybody knew everybody. Mm-hmm. If you had anything that went wrong, if you had anything that came up in your life, people and community were there for you. And that's how I kind of feel Sunnyvale is. I mean, it's small and we are getting bigger, but I think that having that culture of keeping that small town feel, and having 4 campuses but just one school, that having that feel and that culture, I think, is what makes Sunnyvale very unique and separated from all these other bigger districts around us, because people are going to show up for you here in Sunnyvale, and that's what I love about it, and I hope that never changes.
Agreed.
Yeah. I know, because I'm reminded, even I remember when the middle school flooded and the community showed up with their blowers and their shot backs, just soaking it up. And I remember because when I came, I was nervous because I grew up in a small town, and having a very diverse family, I was kind of like, I know small town can mean different things. And I remember calling my first day, this place is great. It's like we're back home. We're going to know everybody, and it's going to be wonderful. And I love that. Whether you're coaching youth sports or whatever it is, or you're at the games on Friday nights or fine arts events, the people, the kids, the parents. It's kind of like having a big family all around you.
I think of Cheers, they said where everybody knows your name, and a lot of people like, oh no, I don't want people to, but people knowing each other, knowing when needs do come up, knowing when there are problems, everyone just gathers around them. We've had several staff members have terrible health problems, and just seeing people rally around them, rally around students or whatever, I think that does make us special and makes us unique. It is the culture that we've had here, and I think that is a really special thing that we all just hold on really tight to. I think that's really neat to see. Administrators definitely don't want to make hard decisions on Meet the Teacher night, but yet at the same time, when those hard decisions have to be made, they do it, and then everyone rallies around that cause, and I think that just makes it all, goes back to those, things that we hold dear to us.
I think so. And you do have those moments where you're like, okay, one time I want to go somewhere to an event and not be seen and have a parent know I'm there, but then then after a while you're like, no, I embrace it. It's just, it truly is, it's a blessing and it's worth it. And I do think too, 4 campuses in one school, trying to have smaller than state average say average class sizes, like those things that we just know we value, then we know when the need comes up, it's like, no, these are things we value, this is what's best for our kids, and so we jump in and we do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's something that truly
as